on Tiki-Taki as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk through some of the moves today. Let's start with some sector stuff really quick, and then we'll go into individual plays that we're in. Sec. Okay, so let's talk through some sector stuff first, and then we'll go into individual plays that we're in. Stream should be live on YouTube if you want to watch it, but you guys, nothing's going to be new from basically what we've been talking about for the last week. Things that are working are continuing to work. So materials up 1.45%. We do have an ALB position on the books. ALB is all-time highs today, so we'll look at that in a second. But materials not necessarily out of the woodwork yet. We are testing a previous support and resistance area at around $80, $81. So this is an attitude changer here within the material sector. We've been kind of focused on this area. We were focused on it at the end of 2021. We were focused on it through the first half of 2022. We're right there again, testing it from the underside though this time. So it has been a historic support going back over a year and a half. It is now a resistance area that we should be using as a risk on, risk off area. Got your DM, Shaq? I'll respond to you as soon as the market's over here. I appreciate the DM. Okay, comms up 1.18%, financials up 1.02%, real estate up 1.01%. Tech, nice recovery off of the lows today. We were hovering around 0, now up. Looks like 1%. So everything, every single area of the market right now is up. Staples up 0.05, and utility is actually up off the lows as well. So we do have a BRB set up somewhere around 76.5 here. On XLU, there are a few of you guys that are in utilities related plays, not me. But we would like to see XLU hold itself above that $76 area, and we have today. So nice recovery off of the lows. Consumer discretionary 0.47. Realistically, the areas of the market that we expect to be working are continuing to work. XLE, another 50-day high. And let's look at industries really quick. We'll dive into those individual positions. Semiconductors up 2.39%. We did see this double, triple, however you want to look at it, top here underneath that 244, 245-ish area. Listen, we have had the same idea since we started going long 6-7 weeks ago, and that's that we wanted to clear those May to June highs. Semiconductors never did. We're trapped below that. We are only in one position, I believe, that has direct semiconductor exposure, and that's ONNN, which is also a solar name, which is why we're seeing all-time highs there. So we did a fantastic job grabbing literally the only semiconductor name that was reliable with options volume. We'll go through that. I think that should be applauded that we were able to grab that. Internet names up 1.95%. Potentially a little bit of an undercut here on this resistance turn support. Check this out. Check that out. Maybe a little something there. We could be coming back up and over that. Could be viewed as a potential BRB right there. So MU, agricultural inputs. We have looked at agribusiness for, 2 weeks now straight, right? We've looked at, what are the two names that off the top of our head that are agricultural inputs that we were looking at yesterday? CF, look at that. Look at that gap up in CF. So unfortunately, this was something that we were looking at potentially buying yesterday, but there was no options volume to actually go and buy this thing. I'm going to go ahead and scale this fib back. But check out this breakout here in CF here, CF Industries. This is an agricultural input name. We were looking at buying this, but we could not. I want to stress that to anybody watching the stream later. We could not get into this because there was no options availability on the chain. So if you know anybody that's in CF and they're talking about big profitability, you can call bullshit because there's essentially zero fucking open interest on all these contracts. Unfortunately, though, nice gap up. There was one other name I can't remember. It starts with an M. Off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but it was a name that we had traded earlier this year. I'm assuming that's going to be gapping up as well. So nice move here. Agricultural inputs, jets up off of some shitty price action. Let's not try to bottom tick these names here. Let's just focus on the strength. IGV is up 0.21, whereas FDN is up 2.02. Check that out. So FDN, the worst performing industry on the year, is outperforming software now. Imagine that. Wonky world. Wonky world. PBW 1.17, testing the 200-day moving average. Let's look at TAN really quick. tan looks better than PVW at this point. Speaking of tan, let's move into current positions that we're in. If I'm talking and you guys want to go over a current position, just stop me. I'm going to continue to talk until I find run out of topics, essentially. But if you guys want to interrupt me, feel free. Let's talk through ON first. MOS, that's right, Marcos. It was this name, and we did. We got a gap up. CF definitely the better setup there, but MOS follow through 1.37%. Matter of fact, this is underperforming, right? ADR of 3.87, and we only moved a little bit over 3, and we are only up 1.37. So the CF trade was the better of the two. Hypothetically, that was a good play. Let's talk ON. How many of us are still in ON? Let's see if I can move this phone over a little bit so you guys can catch some of this Discord action. Anybody still? Oh, I know there's a bunch of us still in ON. Don't worry, Dom. I did not grab it either. So we've got a bunch of members that are in ON right now. This is an all-time high within the semiconductor space. For those of you watching the stream on YouTube, I created a video of maybe a week ago talking about this specific setup, why we took it. It's now pressing into all-time highs. If you're on TikTok watching this stream, there is a video that I posted like 5 days ago that goes over the ON play as well. Highly suggest checking that out. This is an all-time high play. You guys want to post your profits percentage based, not dollar based, just to get a general idea of what these contracts are up. They should be up probably near 75 to 100% after the drawdown. I think Mike's still in ON as well. I might be wrong though. So nice move here, ON. The only semiconductor name that is hitting into all-time highs. If we look at some of the other semiconductor names, look at AMD, looks like shit. There's a reason why we didn't buy AMD. Look at NVIDIA, looks like shit. There's a reason why we didn't buy NVIDIA. Check out TSM, looks like shit. There's a reason why we didn't buy it. MU, doesn't look great. There's a reason why we didn't buy it. Semiconductors in general, doesn't look great. There's a reason why we don't buy it. What's the only difference between all of those and ON? ON wasn't going down and to the right. It was going horizontally at the time, which was relative strength. Let's see, we got 33% on ON from Mike. We have 85.17% from Dustin. Cool. Okay, yeah. So Dustin, you're probably going to be up near 100%, assuming we don't pull back tomorrow. Sweet. Congrats, guys. For anybody watching the stream, watch that video of why we chose ON and not other semiconductor names. This is what matters, right? Going to get a triple-digit winner here off of ON. The entire process is laid out. Somebody said Rivian. Rivian was a trade that I actually took off of this horizontal level break, and it just failed to continue to manifest itself. So this was a trade that damn near hit my PT perfectly. It was up 110% at its peak, and I actually let this thing run down towards break even, and I sold at a minor loss. So I was looking for a bigger move within XLY. With Rivian, I bought this area breakout here. Went through it multiple times on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, and Rivian just lost steam, man. So don't like Rivian here at all, actually. I was also in Riot. This was a 90% winner. We did hit my PT. I did not close at the PT, so I did lose some of that profit, but Riot as well. Both of those broke out around the same day. Both had the same sort of levels, horizontal level breaks. Rivian was up over 100%. Riot was up about 90-ish. But Riot was a super small play. I think it was only $20 that I entered it. So. Okay. Marcos is up 78 on ON. All right, let's talk through First Solar really quick. This is another name right here that's pushing into all-time highs. It's a TAN-related name. TAN is your solar industry. This is our change of direction setup. If you're watching the stream, we've made videos on this. Literally says FSLR, change of direction setup. TikTok and YouTube both. Go watch those if you want to find out how we were able to grab this play. We have a bunch of guys that are in First Solar. So who's still in FSLR here as we press into high of day and all-time highs? This is going to be an all-time high close, not necessarily an all-time high intraday. But we are now firmly breaking above that 118.5, 119 area that we've been essentially targeting from the very beginning. While you guys type that out, all right, check that out. Does this even see it? First Solar. I don't know if TikTok's gonna be able to pick this up. Anyway, It's 400%. For whatever reason, the white washes it out. But Dustin's up 400% on this trade right here. So I'm going to go ahead and talk through this. It'll take me about 30 seconds, but if you want a more in-depth look, watch the videos that I posted previous. This is a change of direction setup. Everything starts with a catalyst. This is a gap up, right? You don't chase price. If you're chasing price, you're going to be buying contracts with juiced up premiums, and who knows if this is where we're going to end up breaking out or breaking down. Don't want to chase price. What we do instead is we wait for a horizontal consolidation, and we either buy the breakout, or if we're looking to short, we short the breakdown. Dustin bought this pullback on the red day, utilizing something we call a BRB, and you got the breakout, and now he's up 400% near all-time highs. And what are those expirations, Dustin? You have Octobers or Septembers?
Let me double check.
If those are Octobers, that's going to be 1,000%.
September.
Okay,
September's.
Nice. Okay. Hey, who knows, man? You get a second day follow through on these all-time highs. It's going to be a 500% winner tomorrow. So, guys, this shit matters. on watching on stream, this shit fucking matters. Highly suggest watching the video, figuring out what this COD. It's also called an episodal pivot, but this is how you get these huge. How can I like make this not suck? The stream can like not see it. There you go. 400%. Sweet. Okay, anyway, 400% winner on First Solar. Got a couple guys in First Solar. Congrats. Okay, Callow's not on, but Callow is in PWR. I think Callow's the only guy that took PWR. This is an industrial name. He's super busy with work right now. But I'm going to go ahead and post it and tag him because this is an all-time high for him. So I know that contract's up. He bought it a while ago as well, at the beginning of August. So, dope. Congrats, Callow, if you end up watching this stream. Stock ALB. There's only one guy in the group in ALB. I think that's Dustin as well. ALB all-time high today. You want to share with us really quick what the actual play was? Because I don't think we ever actually asked you.
Let's see. September's on that one too.
September calls.
Looks
or
like
call debit, I'm assuming call debit spreads because
calls.
You bought straight calls.
Yeah, straight calls. 300 strike on that.
September 300s. And what are these up right now?
71%.
You paid $1,000 for a fucking contract?
No.
What did you end up?
I only bought one.
Okay,
I bought one, and it was like $650.
Okay, cool. All right, well, he's up 70.
It's percentages, Hammy. And I'm not dealing with dollars. It's percentages and how the account is, and so.
Congrats, 70% on a $600 position here is good. Anyway, okay, cool. You're up 70% to an all-time high AOB. You have realistically, 2 days before you have to close this. This is a great position to be in right here. RSI above the 70, meaning the market cannot get enough of this. Dustin, you're on a fucking roll, man. You got a 400%er. And First Solar, you got an ON position that's up nearly 100%. You got this ALB position up 70%. You got big boy money coming in. Good job. Let's talk XOM. Bunch of guys grabbed XOM, and we're going to talk through the thought process one more time of XOM over CVX. XOM here. Anybody want to post their win or loss? This should be green. I know it hasn't been the cleanest breakout here off of this pseudo sim try. Actually, one guy front ran it, right? I think it was Marcos. Marcos front ran the symmetrical triangle, if I'm not mistaken. So he's probably decently green. The rest of us, how we doing? Feeling good or not? Symmetrical triangle breakout. I actually didn't even have the symmetrical triangle charted. That was all you guys, so congrats on catching that. Nice breakout here. Third day continuation off of the gap up. I know a bunch of you guys grabbed XOM. This has not been the easiest trade post breakout though. This is part of the problem. And one thing that we will talk about, all of this price action on the left-hand side of the chart is something that if you can in the future, you want to avoid. Because as insignificant as it seems, there are people that bought XOM during this run-up expecting XOM to go to like 110, 115, 120. Bag held it all the way down into the 80s, and they are just crossing their fingers. Please let me close this at break even. I'll never do something stupid like this again. That inherently introduces resistance on the way back up, right? So if we can find a chart to circumvent all of that previous price action, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a cleaner trade. XOM and CVX are recipients of that. Mike is up 70% on his XOM play. Nice, Mike. Most of you guys should probably be up 50, 60, 70%. I think Marcos is the one that, Marcos is up 62. All right, cool. So most of us are in a decent position here with an XOM. Symmetrical triangle breakout. The CVX play, just so everyone's fully aware, right? We just talked XOM. If we want to avoid the left-hand side, Marcos and Caldo really were the first 2 guys that joined TTI where I was like beating this concept into them. If you want to avoid the choppy, shitty trades on average, avoid the left-hand side price action. Look at CVX versus XOM. You can see the price action on the left-hand side of CVX is range bound going back months. XOM is not. It's trending up and to the right. If you had to make a decision, gun to your head, and somebody said, are you buying XOM or CVX? You would look at both charts and you'd say, well, CVX was horizontally channeling for close to 6 months, range bound. We're going to have to fight through that to get back up through there. XOM was not. It's just single day price points as opposed to CVX being there for literal months. Take the easier trade, which would be XOM, statistically speaking. So CVX and XOM both had the same sort of price action. Symmetrical triangle breakout shouldn't be that big of a surprise considering they're the 2 biggest names within the energy sector. But we took XOM specifically because less price action on the left and it was the cheaper play, right? That matters. Now let's talk about some names that are pulling back here. EQNR, great looking trade that we took. This thing is up, or was up, well over 100%. You probably had a pullback today, and because it's not the most traded ticker on the options chain, I'm sure it feels worse than it actually is. Let's go ahead and pull up those Octobers, the 39s. No, the 39s are still up near 100%, and the 44s are up over 100%. Look at that. Who's still in EQNR? I can't imagine anybody closed this today off of this minor of a pullback. Dustin's in fucking everything. Cool. Dustin's in EQNR. Jesse's up 40%. Sweet. Okay, so EQNR, very easy breakout, right? Horizontal level break, got the gap, 3-day continuation. Today we get a pullback. Listen, this is a large cap international integrated oil name out of Norway. This setup cannot be any easier to read. And as a matter of fact, what's the one thing lacking from this chart that every other chart that we've looked at so far had? Left-hand side price action. There is none here. You get the horizontal level break. You're in something we call big blue skies, which is essentially all-time high or damn near all-time high. There's no price action on the left-hand side of the chart that you have to worry about. As a matter of fact, we're about $2 away from all-time high. Last time we were up here was 2008, right? Right prior to the market crash during GFC. EQNR back up there. This is telling. We have time on these contracts. They're up multiple hundreds of percent. Dustin's up, once again, 100. Dustin's up 109% on his EQNR play. Dustin's you're having a great week, man. What the fuck? Every single play you have is up over 70%. Okay. EQ, and by the way, the price target's at 43. There's no reason to close this thing early. We have plenty of time on these contracts. Like I said, these are Octobers. You have 57 days till expiration. You're fucking up near all-time high. There's no reason to close this, so congrats on that. EQT. I know there's at least one person in here in EQT. Alex is in EQT. What's that percentage on the contract? It's got to be down because of the consolidation, but I want to know how bad. So for those of you always typing that out, EQT was one of the large cap with a decent amount of open interest that we were originally looking at, but We did want to take it after it cleared this May to June consolidation. It's not that big of a surprise to see us not be able to break up and over it. We're now consolidating the same place we consolidated last time. That makes sense. Price tends to follow, I shouldn't say follow, it tends to rhyme with history. That's why technical analysis tends to work, right? So it doesn't surprise me to see EQT find resistance where it found resistance prior, but once it does eventually, if it does, break this $50 level, EQT should shoot up towards $57, $58, which was our original price target. Hey, I'm surprised you're not red. Alex is up 1.4% off of this play, but one thing I want to point out is that you bought in a few days ago, right? So the fact that you're green on this in general after 3 or 4 days of consolidation is very good. So congrats on being green on that. And by the way, good job on not closing early just because it's not moving the same way as everything else. Once or if it does clear that $50 area, there's a straight shot up towards 57.86. If I'm not mistaken, it hasn't been these prices. This is an 8-year high for EQT. So not a bad setup. It wasn't the A+ though, right? We've talked about that. On stream, we've talked about that as well. Not an A+ setup, but still something worth if you wanted something in energy to grab a contract in. And as of right now, Alex is up 1.4% on a consolidation zone, so not bad. OXY. I know there's a few of you guys in OXY. The old Berkshire special. Anybody want to volunteer for that one? The one name that Dustin's not in. Congratulations. Somebody on TikTok said, what do we think about SPY? Do we think it's going to hit 413.53? I don't know, man. It was just there yesterday. I have no idea, bro. I don't day trade SPY. I just use it for levels. I'm not really concerned. If SPY dropped back down to 413 right now, I wouldn't change anything that I'm doing, so I have no idea, unfortunately. We were just there yesterday, getting an up day. RSI is bouncing off the 50, so I would assume no. We're probably not going to hit 413. Later, homie. I love when people join the stream, ask a question. It's not what they want to hear. They're just like, later. I'm petty, so I just block them. Okay. Okay, OXY. Dom is in. All right, let's talk through this really quick. Dom, did you get in on the original 73, or not the original, the $73 break, or did you get in prior to the $73 break? Because this matters. For anybody else that is watching this right now, OXY is obviously the name that Buffett is buying up to 50% of. This is in all the headlines, etc. But I want to point something out. OXY has not been the easiest trade. Berkshire was publicly buying OXY this entire time. Everybody knew Berkshire was buying it. Matter of fact, they were also buying it when it consolidated sideways. So everybody that was just blindly buying with Berkshire, right, specifically options traders, they lost essentially all of their money if they were betting a directionally biased trade to the upside. Because we horizontally channeled from March through essentially August. We look at this, you know, it's 160 days straight of sideways action. You can't trade that profitably if you're a directionally biased trader. If you're up or down, you lose. If you're selling theta or implementing some sort of condor or something, sure, you probably made a couple bucks, but directionally biased traders did not. So Dom got in at 65. Nice. So you have a profit cushion, and you can let this thing kind of do its thing. So Dom said he got in off of this original breakout right here, which makes sense. I don't think anybody in the group is necessarily looking at it at the time like Dom did. He's looking at it right here, off of this horizontal level break, huge gap up on big volume, or was not a gap up, but a breakout on big volume. And now he's in a unique position where we had previous resistance at 73, we broke it, and we are now coming down and testing it. Statistics say that this is going to be tested, hold, and the trend is going to continue up and to the right. If that's true, Dom's $65 entry can now, his stop loss can be moved up towards this $73 area I don't know what your contracts, your expirations are on that play, Dom, but you have lots of time, I'm assuming, and you have an incredible advantage over everybody else that's buying right now because your average entry price is so low compared to everybody else. Absolutely incredible play on OXY. As long as we hold that $73 level, this is going to 85 in my mind, which is what our original profit target is off of that $73 break. You got Octobers? Yeah. That's a great position to be in. Good job. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to go over in regards to positions? That's everything that I have on my watch list, but I'm assuming you guys have some more. We do have a couple guys in Pepsi. I don't know if... actually, I don't know if we have anybody else in Pepsi. Do we have anybody still in Pepsi? Coming back down and testing previous resistance turn support. This thing's probably not green anymore, but it's not a bad looking trade if we have time. Finding support where their previous was resistance, right? You get the breakout, come back down, retest the area, you get a nice little bounce. RSI is still firmly above the 50. This is a good opportunity for Pepsi to build a base and then leg up towards $91, $92. See you tomorrow, or see you tonight. Yeah, just so everyone's fully aware, our strategy session is tonight, guys, because we moved everything back one day. Let's see. Hannah, are you an OXY or Unity that's up 50%? Alex got into a Unity play. This is, I mean, I'll be first one to say it, not my favorite play, but that's okay. Alex is using this $47 area as a potential horizontal level that Unity came back down. First off, it broke, hit our profit target at 57, came back down, and it's now testing a previous resistance, now turn support. This is like TA 101, right? Levels. When resistance gets broken to the upside, generally speaking, it can come down, be tested as support. Then you see a bounce in another oscillation to the next level, which would be, in this case, $75. If this were to go 100% the way that Alex thinks it's going to go, you would see an oscillation like this, right? You'd get the breakout, you'd get the pullback, and then you'd get the next oscillation higher towards $75. So Hanno got into OXY, he's up 50%, and Hanno got into Unity, up 20%. Dom is up 92% in Oxy. Marcos front ran the breakout at the horizontal level on FCX. This is a copper related name. One of the easiest names to trade if you want copper exposure, but trading copper is incredibly fucking difficult, just so everyone's fully aware. This is not an easy company to trade. This is Marcos's chart he just posted. I love Marcos's charts. They're very simple, which is great. He has very clean ideas. He's trading the $31.45 breakout, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, $31.45 break. He got in. It's currently at $33.11. What contracts did you grab on those, Marcos? This is awesome. You guys are fucking killing it. $37 calls for October. Sweet. Cool. Okay. Look at that. Right in the right wheelhouse. 0.33 delta. A little 253 open interest. I'm assuming you only grabbed one contract, right? Or two? One or two? Cool. Okay. So everyone watching the stream, we generally don't like buying things if they don't have at least 1,000 open interest because liquidity starts to be a problem. And unlike other groups that pump illiquid contracts, we don't. So if there's not at least 1,000 open interest, we don't normally play. But if you have a smaller account, or if you're willing to take one or two contracts, then something sub 1,000 is okay. Just make sure you know what you're doing. And in this case, Marcos grabbed two contracts on the $37 calls for October FCX, grabbed them for around $1.15 or $1.10 if I'm not mistaken. 0.33 delta. Yeah, this is great. Awesome. Okay, any other positions you guys opened up that you want to go over? You guys are fucking killing it. I'm impressed. Mostly impressed with Dustin. Am I allowed to say that? I'm mostly impressed with Dustin.
No.
Dustin is holding a plethora of triple-digit winners right now, and he's just chilling.
Blasphemy.
And just so everyone's fully aware, Dustin works a full-time job and has a family and somehow can figure out how to do this. So excuses Do not apply.
And is it... Wait, are you streaming?
I am. You're on.
Oh, man. Love you, Dustin.
Okay. One last thing I'm going to do before we cut the stream. Let's go ahead and let's scan for some 50-day highs and see. This is probably going to be a bigger list than usual, and it is. Okay, so today we get 95 names on the 50-day high, whereas we were previously only getting in between 30 and 50, which is also down, by the way, because we were getting like 500 a day for 3 weeks straight. Okay, so I ranked them by sector. Posted the scanner in Discord. Let's fucking go through these boys really quick here. Let's find some areas of the market that appear to be giving us easy risk on levels. Probably not an easy trade here, but AA is breaking out. Obviously, for those of you that have been here for a while, you know that AA is one of the largest aluminum-based names. So we're seeing some confluence here with materials, right? Look at CF once again pressing into high a day. This is going to haunt me. I really wish we grabbed CF. Oh well. Corteva was the one that I traded earlier this year that absolutely dominated. We're back up near. Yeah, all right, check this out. For an agricultural name, check this Corteva name out once again. We traded this earlier this year. It's not my favorite setup, but we at least have a risk on level, right? Another agricultural name hitting 50-day highs, ICL. Lithium up, MOS up. So we're getting confluence here across agricultural inputs. Steel Dynamics is up, STLD. I think Marcos traded that earlier this year for a profit. ADM, Farm Products up. ADM we've traded as well. Or did we trade this, or was it just a puzzle print? ADM, Archer Daniels, Midland. I think somebody did trade this. CELH, another all-time high today, but we did bring it back down. Vermilion Energy, we looked at that. There's going to be a lot of energy names on this list right now. Make sure you find the easier trades, not the trades just because they're up, right? Devon Energy, once again, I'm posting. I have a feeling that this is going to fucking absolutely rip once we get up near $75, $76. Mike, you got back in the green on a firm. Is it going to be one of those trades where you just close and you're like, thank you, God. You let me get out of this?
That's what I'm thinking about right now. I don't know if I want to gamble it on earnings.
Yeah, I feel you.
It sucks because it went from plus 100% to minus like 30%. And I opened a new position today to bring it all the way up back to the total position back up to 4%. So I don't know if I should just.
Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. It's better than taking the loss. I posted PAGP. That's one of those pipeline names we've been looking at for the last few sessions. We are up on it right now. Or it's up, I should say. We're not up on it. UNM, once again, 50-day highs. Life insurance name that we've been looking at for a few sessions now. I'm going to skip all the biotech names. Got 11 minutes, guys. If you have any questions on current positions that you're in, you need help managing or second opinions, ask the group right now. Make sure you get it out. Strategy session is tonight, by the way. I'm going to put it in the announcements channel as well. PWR, once again, Callow in that at all-time high. ON all-time high. Got a couple utilities names are hitting up here. Look at CEG. All right, for those of you watching the stream, we traded CEG earlier this year off of our Big Blue Sky setup. We looked at potentially opening up a position in CEG again, but we missed it this time. So we caught it here. We ran it up, but we did not catch it here, unfortunately. We were not able to follow this. And we are coming up towards that $85 2.68 fib now, but we could be using potentially this 82.5 area as a risk on, risk off. So I think it's a little bit risky up here on CEG. We can talk through this tonight during our strategy session. I don't love it, but if you want utilities exposure, CEG is the one part of the market within utilities that is still fucking screaming. NFE as well. NFE up near all-time highs. Look at that. New Fortress Energy. It's a gas distribution company, 12.86 billion with a 4 point. This is a 4.5% ADR on a utility name. Check out that. Been shorting Pfizer for about 4 days. Green is supporters trying to take it. Let's look. What's up, James? PFE. Shorting Pfizer 4 days. Green, but it is in support. I was trying to take it to 45. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get it. I get the trade idea. We've been careful not to short. I don't know. There are areas of the market that look weak, but there are areas of the market that are holding up, even though they look like dog shit. Healthcare is kind of one of those areas that's not doing anything. We have this arrow here for a reason, right? It's just consistently horizontally channeling. It's not really giving us any sort of shove up or shove down. So we're just not playing it to the long side or downside. But PFE does have that setup. I think it's probably just a victim of sector inflows. I don't know when your expiration is, but your RSI is below the 50, so you're in a bearish momentum regime. I get the price target. Yeah, I think it's getting propped up because the market in general is being propped up. Just one of those shitty trades. But if you're green, good job. I don't know how much time you have left on it though. I just got something on TikTok saying, wait, I'm white? Excuse me. I'm olive. 22 days. What we do in TTI, you're different, right? I know that you like to day trade as well, but we do not hold anything with less than 20 days. So we would be looking to close that position tomorrow, no matter what. Just simply because, and I know you're aware of this, but theta starts kicking in exponentially harder the closer you get, and it just starts ramping up at 20 days. And so for us, usually, if you're holding something to 20 days, it's because it's not working, and we know what it's like to hold a losing trade, right? It's just like, it feels like it just won't win no matter what. Theta starts to work against you, and it just starts to compound that feeling of shit, dude, this trade sucks. Why didn't I close it earlier? Sometimes you're going to miss something, but more often than not, we try to close and just move on to the next thing. If you're green, though, fuck it. Good job. Goldman Sachs doesn't look bad. I don't like financials right now. That's the only thing, right, Hannah? We want to see some sector levels being broken, and right now we're actually currently underneath that May to June. So we can talk through this tonight, actually, because let's say value does start to get rotated back into it. I think financials are going to be a part of that is a recipient, but I'm going to post one more chart. We want financials to be above that area, right, before we start buying, and we're not there yet. Goldman Sachs isn't the worst to be going long once financials do start acting right, though. We got Wells Fargo, we got Bank of America, we got Citigroup. Man, all of these look like shit, actually. All right. See you, Dom. Okay, any questions? If not, I'm going to stop the stream at the very minimum. TikTok has been real. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the questions, Adam. It's always nice talking to you, bro. Enjoy yourself. Not sure if it like closed or not. What are we doing here? Question about EQT. I missed the combo. What was the reason? Did it break out or front run? It's doing nothing, as a matter of fact. I'll post it one more time. So EQT right now, it was not the A+ setup within the energy sector, right? EQNR was the A+. EQT though, there's nothing wrong with EQT. It's just not working the way that we would expect it to be working as the market is, or as the sector is seeing strength. That's the only thing we don't like. RSI is still above 50. You're still range bound above the pivot point around 47.5. So this isn't a bad looking trade. You're just a victim of chop. That's it. It's nothing necessarily terrible. You're just not seeing a huge pop like everything else is right now. So there's no reason to close this. It's just caught underneath or within a previous consolidation zone. If that makes sense. It's not a bad trade, and it's not something to stop out of. Yet. end the stream.